Alright, Wastelanders, now that we've got this Thanksgiving bullshit behind us and all that fuck around is over and done with, we're doing something pretty simple today. This is skillet chicken Florentine. We're continuing our exploration of white meats. So we're going to be working with chicken breast today. I've already seasoned these. I'll put a link to the blend I used in the description. Salt, pepper, a little bit of whatever seasoning blend you like. Have I not explained this enough that you need to make your own mouth happy first? That's all I'm saying. I've added a little bit of black garlic on this just for shits and giggles, and that's in some, as Elwood Blues says, strong stuff. I've got about 12 ounces. I prefer 10, but they didn't have that, so fuck it, close enough, of chopped spinach, frozen. What we're going to be doing later on in this is a half-ass version of the cream spinach that the Patreons have already seen. Heavy cream, shredded Parmesan, 2 chicken titties, and a pan that has already been preheated over medium heat. All we got to do, throw some pan lube in there. Go ahead and use the good stuff. We're not going to be cooking this hot enough to worry about the smoke point on extra virgin, so it's cool to get the flavor in there. Love that sound. Now, if you were watching last week for my thick-ass pork chops, I told you how to tell when it's time to flip these. We're actually not going to worry about this too much this week. This is going to take about 30 minutes for these breasts to cook all the way through. We're just straight up medium heat on this motherfucker, and we're just going to leave them here for about 5, 7, 10 minutes, somewhere in that neck of the woods. We only want to have a couple of turns on this. By the time we're done, everything should be coming out golden brown and delicious, and we'll see that as we go through. Right now, the only thing to do is just let them sit. I know you want to poke at it every couple of seconds because everybody wants to fucking be super involved and all up in their food's business. You don't have to do that. You just have to have some fucking patience. This is another patience game. Most white meats, pork, chicken, if you rush shit, that's when you start to dry things out. You drive all the moisture out before the heat can penetrate all the way through, and that's when you get that desiccated cardboard bullshit your grandma served. So what we're going to do now, just walk away. Alright, I lied a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and show you the first flip. If you weren't paying attention last week, here's how you tell that things are ready to turn. Take your tongs, just give it a very gentle poke. See, that one's moving fine a little bit. There it goes. Breaks loose real easy. I'm just barely using enough force on this to like fucking push a paper clip around. This one, completely let go. That means that that delicious brownness has happened and the meat has let go of your pan. This is technically a non-stick pan, but this pan is probably older than some of your fucking kids, so the Teflon's pretty well shot. This is just a fucking pan at this point. We're going to finish these out, and we're going to come back when it's time to make the half-ass cream spinach. We'll be back in a bit. Alright, our total cook time so far has been just about 25 minutes. We've got a nice dark crust on both sides of these titties. You can see that the pink line along the middle has disappeared. We brought these up to room temperature for about an hour before they went in the pan, just to make sure we don't get that bullseye effect where you get raw in the middle and overcooked on the outside. Yeah, that's what that's all about. Evacuate to a clean pan. Heat's down to low. Gonna hit these with foil, shiny side down, because we're keeping the heat in. Set that out of the way, but near the heat, just so they can make sure. I did go ahead and probe these for anybody who's paranoid. They came off a little bit north of 140. Lady Humungus has lost interest. Anyway, they came out safe. I'll put the numbers in the description. What we're doing from here, while the pan is still hot, we're going to add a gob of garlic. I'm not going to tell you how much garlic to use. Garlic is fucking awesome, and I probably use more than you, and I fucking love it. This is the only tricky part of the recipe. If you overcook this garlic, it's going to burn and turn shitty and bitter and nasty. So what we do is we put that in there, And then we dump something in to cool it off. That is where our microwave spinach came in. Now, if you don't want to foil tent your chicken, another thing you can do, just put the plate in the microwave. It's a small space, it's an enclosed box, and it's actually pretty well insulated. So it's going to keep things warm in there. Chef Mike may not be a great cook, but he is great at hot hold. Stir that around, gets the garlic mixed in, and gets it off the direct heat so you don't overcook and turn into a bitter shitfest. Go ahead and turn the heat up. We're going to need a little bit more for this next step. And then we're going to really cool it down in the next step. This is only going to take a minute or two because you've pre-nuked your chopped spinach. Now again, Patreon saw the good version of this. This is just the I'm in a fucking hurry and I'm hungry version of this. We are still under a half hour total cook time. What we're doing next is we're adding shredded Parmesan. Now, half a cup is a good guideline, but I like cheese. Stir that in and it's going to start to melt, especially since we just turned the heat back up a little bit. This is going to cook for maybe 2 minutes tops. And I'm going to get the spurs on a little bit just so it hurries up. Because I'm hungry. Here's some fun behind the scenes trivia for you guys. We actually eat this stuff when we're done filming. Alright. Once this starts to get all melty, sticky, stringy, reminds me of something. What else is all sticky and stringy? Huh. Must be a dessert component. Oh well. Keep it moving around. Because you don't want this shit to burn. Much as you don't want anything to burn. And now we're going to add a glug of more fat to this. Because more fat is always a good answer when you're chasing flavor. Heavy cream. Again, if you want to play this by the book, half a cup of Parmesan, half a cup of heavy cream. That will be the official description. I encourage you to go overboard on both because it's better. Try to be at least a little bit proportionate though, because otherwise you just wind up with this soupy mess. But anyway, we basically just half-assed creamed spinach here. This is going to take another minute or two for the cream to come up to temperature. Simmer a little bit, thicken a little bit, melt the cheese a little bit, and when it does that, then we'll be right back and I'll show you what the final product looks like. Thank you. Alright, so now the dog of war is not distracting Lady Humungus. The only thing I've done to this besides give some stirs over the last 4 minutes is pour the off juices from the chicken back into the pan and mix them in. We've got this nice, gooey, wonderful... Look, I'm just going to straight up tell you, the best side dish for this is just some fucking tortilla chips, because this is halfway to spinach and artichoke dip already. Now, for the chicken on... Yeah, I know how to talk. It's fucking wonderful. Don't you love the value you're getting out of all this? The temperature on the chicken, we got up to 150 with the rest. Texas A&M, who has some fucking experience with chickens and so forth, consider that safe. The FDA says you have to get up to 165. If you get up to 165 on a chicken breast, especially if you hit 165 while you are still on the heat, you have just made cardboard, drywall, fucking plywood bullshit. Because the FDA has to deal with the sort of fucking moron who requires us to have labels on lawnmowers that say, "Do not stick your hand in here, numbnuts." Again, this is another thing where you have to determine your own level of risk acceptance. Personally, I'm going to take the Texans' word for it and call 150 good enough. All I'm going to do from here is I'm going to take our beautiful chicken. Oh God, I sound like a food cliche. I'm going to split these to two different plates because, well, there are two of us. Do the fucking math. And then I'm just going to dump this shit on top of here. Move that over. Et voila. There you go. That one's getting the same treatment on a different plate. We're going to get some tortilla chips up in this bitch. And we're about to have dinner. Patreons, thank you for your patience for the delays in previous content. I'm still thinking, and if anybody has any requests, please drop them in there, and I will see if I can get to them. Starting to run low on white meats. I've already done chicken thighs with the 40 clove. Anybody's got any further requests, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep fucking winging it here. Hey, maybe wings. I'll smoke some wings next week. No, I won't. Most of you don't have smokers, and I'm not showing you how to build a cardboard smoker. Either way, like, subscribe, comment, all that good shit. Thank you guys. I can't believe this is a thing that is actually still happening, and we'll see you next week.